You know, QR codes are absolutely everywhere these days, but if you've ever tried to use them for a real project, like for a business, you might have stumbled upon a pretty frustrating secret. The real cost? It's not the code itself. It's the subscription strings that are almost always attached. So today, let's unpack a much smarter, subscription-free way to handle them. Okay, we have to start here because this is the classic nightmare scenario, isn't it? I mean, you've spent the money, you've spent the time, everything is printed, it's out in the world, and that's when you see it. A tiny typo in the URL. Or maybe the event page you were linking to has changed. Ugh, that sinking feeling? That's exactly what we're going to solve today. So, here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll dig into the hidden costs of most QR codes. Then, we'll introduce a totally new subscription-free model. After that, we'll see how the dynamic features actually work, break down the pay-per-scan pricing, and finally, we'll pull it all together with the QuickR.one advantage. All right, let's dive into part one. See, the main issue with most of the really useful QR code services out there isn't the tech itself. The tech is great. The problem is the business model that's built around it. It's a model that almost always forces you into some kind of long-term and often expensive commitment. Now, before we get any further, let's just make sure we're all on the same page here. We are talking about dynamic QR codes. This is key. A normal or static QR code has the link baked right into it. It's permanent. But a dynamic one? It's like a clever middleman. You can change where it points whenever you want. This is the magic that makes that whole 1,000 wrong flyers problem just disappear. So if dynamic codes are the answer, how do we get away from those painful monthly fees? Well, that brings us to a totally different way of thinking about it, a smarter subscription-free model. And this chart just lays it all out crystal clear. On the left, you've got the old way, recurring fees every single month, whether 10,000 people scan your code or 0. You're basically just paying for time. But on the right, you have this credit model. You buy a pack of credits one time, and you only use a credit when somebody actually scans your code. It's a huge shift. You're paying for real results, not just for access. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this all work in the real world? What kind of freedom and flexibility does a credit-based system actually give you? This right here is the headline. It's the main event. That flyer, that business card, that giant billboard, it's basically a living document now. You can have that QR code point to your summer sale in July, and then, without reprinting a single thing, change it to point to your holiday specials in December. It's total control. Of course, changing the link is only half the story, right? You need to know if it's even working. So a good dynamic system has to give you analytics. You can see which of your codes are getting the most scans, what time of day people are scanning, and actually track how well your campaign is doing. It's about making smart decisions with real data, not just, crossing your fingers. Now this is where it gets really powerful. What happens if your campaign is a massive success and you blow through all your credits? Think about it. With most subscription models, the second you stop paying, your links die. They just break. Here, they keep working. This is a huge, huge safety net, and we need to look at how that's even possible. And that leads us perfectly into our next section, the pricing. How does a pay-per-scan system actually work? What's the catch? Let's demystify this whole credit thing right now. I mean, just look at that number. When you actually boil it down to the cost of one single interaction, one real person scanning your code and engaging with your content, it becomes incredibly affordable. We're talking fractions of a cent. Okay, so here's how the structure works. You buy a pack of credits. That's it. It's a one-time purchase. 1,000 credits for $5? That's perfect for a small project. But you can see, as you buy bigger packs, the price you pay for each scan drops a lot. This thing is built to scale, from a personal website all the way up to an agency that's managing dozens of clients. And this chart just makes that value proposition pop. I mean, look at that. Compared to just buying the smallest pack, you're getting over 50% more value for every single scan at the agency level. The whole model is designed to reward you for usage, without ever trapping you with a recurring bill. So back to that never break promise. Here's exactly how it works. Let's say you're at 0 credits. Someone scans your code. For just 5 seconds, they see a little preview page. And then, automatically, they're sent right along to your destination link. The bottom line is, your link is never dead. You never lose that click, that visitor, or that potential customer. All right, let's bring it all home in our final section. What are the biggest advantages here? What are the key things you should really take away from all this? So, why does all of this matter to you? Well, for one, your credits never expire. You can buy them today and use them 2 years from now. Plus, there's a refund policy if you change your mind, and even a solid free plan to get started. But the big idea is this: you are in complete control. There are no surprise recurring bills. And most importantly, you are paying for actual results, real people scanning your code, not just for the passage of time. And that's really the question I want to leave you with. When you think about your projects, your marketing, your budget, does it make more sense to pay for a subscription that just ticks away month after month? Or does it make more sense to pay only for that specific moment when a real person connects with what you've created?